Phil, IoT has been a technology that people have been talking about for a long time, but it seems to be becoming increasingly important right now. Why is that?
Well, that's because IoT is no longer just a technology. It's something that people use every single day of their life. And the lovely thing about IoT, it's something which has changed lives and businesses for the better without people realizing it. So when you came here today, you probably came, the car was connected with IoT, the traffic lights were connected with IoT. So what we've seen is IoT moving from a technology into something that's easily adoptable by many businesses. And that's what's really driving the adoption of IoT at a global scale.
Give me the definition of what an IoT device can be, though, because I think of IoT as sensors, but it can be other things as well. Is that right?
Yes, there's really sort of a number of schools of IoT. So you've got your normal sensing. So we know when lights are on and lights are off. But data is becoming a more important piece of IoT, where it's giving customers the insight to realize what their install base is doing. So if you've got 1 million connected cars across the world, yep, agreed, the driver gets a fantastic customer experience, but more importantly, you know what's happening to those cars, you know the status they're in, you know where they are. So it brings global businesses together so they can be managed from one single place. And that's true for smart meters, for cars, for asset tracking, a whole host of IoT applications that operate on a global scale.
What about AI? Is that something which is having a big impact on the IoT market?
Yes, very much so. And the convergence between AI and IoT is very, very significant for the business. And we look at it in terms of something we call sight as a sensor, where what you can now use is a sensing device which uses low-cost, high-resolution video, plus AI to recognize things that you've never been able to sense before with traditional physical sensing. So you can now detect things that you're never quite sure what they're going to be, what the orientation is. So for instance, cars in a car park. Today, every single bay is monitored by a sensor. With sight as a sensor, you can actually have one device that can monitor multiple different things. The power of AI to bring more intelligence closer to the device is going to be a significant part of IoT going forwards. And I think that's going to open up a completely new set of use cases for IoT and drive the next growth chapter for IoT globally.
Do we need 6G for this?
We already connect over 230 million things worldwide on our existing networks. 5G enables us to have greater density, but 5G standalone is what's going to make the big difference, because that enables us to operate different slices on the same network. And if you're operating a critical national infrastructure, you need a slightly different performance level than if you're running asset tracking, for instance. So I think what you're going to see is these new networks, whether they're 5G or 6G, actually mean that you can create more performance-based services from IoT than we're actually able to achieve today. So I think you're going to see it move from simply about connections and data to connections and data with a specific level of performance. That is a big step up for IoT.
There's a lot happening.
There's a lot happening.
I mean, it's not just IoT anymore. It's IoT and AI, and it's moving with purpose, isn't it?
It's moving with purpose at high speed forward. And as you look to the future, you're seeing more ways of connecting devices, be that terrestrial or non-terrestrial.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a great segue. Tell me about the non-terrestrial devices. We're talking about space?
We are, and we're talking about particularly low Earth orbit satellites. Now, you've probably heard of Starlink and those types of things. Those networks are also accessible to IoT. So the first time we're having global hybrid networks where you can switch between a terrestrial cellular connection to satellite. And for IoT, that means we can improve even further the global reliability of networks, enabling us to connect more devices on more networks in more countries than ever before.
And in a seamless way, without having to have awareness for each individual device. It's all handled autonomously.
And that's the key. So with all of these new devices comes complexity. Our job as the world's leading managed service provider is to replace that complexity with consistency.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter to the customer how they're connected, they just get the best managed IoT experience anywhere on the planet.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Phil.
Pleasure.
What a fantastic, interesting job you've got.
I have.
And credit to you and to Vodafone. Thank you.
Best job in the world. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.